So I wanted to do a video about like the best team for the Great Storm boss. I did a video like this a couple years ago, but that was before we had Lara Croft, and I think these days Lara Croft's probably better. Though I think some of these strats might work if you don't have Lara Croft. I'll talk about it, but pretty much like right, you just wanna like after you've cleared the scene. I usually try for 220 storm resistance. So this is a test with 220 storm resistance, and generally your normal setup where you clear like the outer layers and stuff and grab the buffs. And the buffs I am using is like, so the first one here, I grab the 20% attack buff, and then over on the second buff up here, I grab the healing buff, and on the final buff, I grab the physical attack buff, the 20% physical attack buff. So you have two attack buffs plus the healing buff, and now we also have 220 storm resistance, which is enough to get to 45 spots for the quests, because there is a quest line for how many location capture you get, 44 for 220, and then the boss will be 45 to get the final stuff 45. Like I said, that's usually the goal I try for. So that's why we're at 220. This team should win with 220 in one go. So we want Jew, we want Sebastian, we want Lara. We probably actually want to switch it that way. You do Isaac and then you do Martha. And we use Axel here just so they, like I said, it kind of keeps the damage going on all your characters so they can use their ults generally more consistently. Like Isaac, he's up front, but he doesn't get energy, so having distributing some of his damage to the rest of your team should help them gain some energy faster. So let's do this here. Oh, and then there's a bunch of story stuff, which I'm not going to read. I've done multiple playthroughs that I've read. I might do another full playthrough like the next time Great Storm comes up. I actually just did a full playthrough on my Let's Play episode. If you want to see me read a full playthrough, just watch my most recent Let's Play with the Great Storm. It's also my 3-year anniversary on that series, so should be easy to find. Yeah, so we just start the fight here. And can pretty much just auto here. There's no real reason not to auto, but we don't do Nebula. In the old team lines, we'd use Nebula instead of Lara. We do pretty much the classic Stone Cold setup, but this time we swap Nebula for Lara. So to know this does not work against Osh, because Osh, you do want Nebula. The thing is, though, we're fighting a bunch of small enemies instead of one big enemy. This is why Nebula is kind of meh. Now, if you don't have Lara Croft, I would think Qin Mao would probably do pretty well as a replacement for her. Because Qin Mao, like Ju, is pretty good. She does lots of pure damage. You could maybe do, maybe Maya could maybe possibly work, though maybe not. I think Maya or Heidi would be kind of meh. I would think Qin Mao would probably be the best alternative to Lara. Waiting for respawns is what's the most likely to keep you preventing from doing a one-shot, but boom, look at that, we just killed multiples there. There you go. Crits. There you go. Okay. Yeah, look how much damage you're starting to do. Alright. Gosh, now we're waiting for respawns. There you go. Alright. Oh, come on. Yeah, we're starting to get close to time, but he's almost down. Just have to, just like I said, they come in waves. It's like they really do, but I think we'll get it no problem here. Look at this. We have 9 seconds. There it goes. See, boom, 7 seconds is there. One hit. Didn't have to use a second attack. We did it in one attack. Boom, look at that. Isaac doing the most damage, followed by Sebastian Lar. Like I said, Nebula doesn't do a lot of damage by herself. She buffs the other characters for the most part. Because she doesn't hit the enemies directly, though, she actually is not particularly great in this fight. Which is, like I said, if you watched my video for a couple years ago, I did have Nebula line, which she was pretty close. That line could sometimes get close to one-shot it, but it didn't really consistently one-shot it with 220 power. This one does. With 220 storm resistance, this will one-shot it most of the time, unless you get bad luck on crits or whatever. But yeah, this is a one-shot kill. So this is the team I recommend. Again, if you don't have Lara Croft, because if some of you are newer, Qin Mao is probably going to be the best alternative. Maybe, like I said, maybe like another like heavy hitter, but the problem with Qin Mao is like she has a nice strong single attack, but she also has nice AE pure damage that can work. So I think she's kind of balanced that way. I'm trying to think of like another hero who might fit that bill. Maybe Daredevil, although I feel like Daredevil's kind of like a bad version of Lara Croft, but maybe Daredevil. I do think Qin Mao's going to be the best, but yeah. So there's that, and yeah, more story. All right, but yeah, see, there you go. Then we get the last scene, then you can claim all your scenes here. That in Great Storm is a very good like event for value wise, because you can get all that. And I think on this one, I've also, this is not my main account, but well, this is my main account, but even on this one, we only spent 3,000. This is my main account, so we only spent 3,000 emeralds on this event. Like, and you could probably do for a bit less than that, but you don't need to spend a lot of emeralds. You can get literally 45 moves here without spending a lot of emeralds. That's part of why this event's good, because you can get pretty much most of the value out of the event, because we got 85,000 coins just like that, and we had some kind of bad rolls on these. A lot of 40s. Look at these. Didn't get a single like 6,000, so these are actually kind of bad rolls. So we could probably have ended up with like a couple thousand more coins, but we still had 85k, which is enough to buy 85 of these pet soul chests or 114 storm legacies. The main two seem to be, like I said, if you're still working on pets, soul chests are good for newer players. Pet items could be good if you need them. My account, like I said, all my pets are pretty much maxed. Don't really need any of these, so we really just grab the soul legacies here. And then the unused coins will auto convert. Same thing. So action points, do not use them. I said, if you already have your 45 moves, like it's better to let the action points auto convert, because you get better, more legacies, storm legacies out of them that way. But yeah, and the storm legacy, I guess I can open them real quick since we're here. They contain particles, pet potions, other unexpected prizes. You know, I don't think they're that great. Generally, I think pet soul chests are better if you still need them. But on this account, obviously, it's the only thing that I can do anything with. So anyway, not too much more to say on this one. Like I said, I did do a video about like the best team for that a couple years ago, but that video is kind of out of date. I also had to use Nebula, which in hindsight, I don't think is the best pick. But if you're interested in that video, you can find it down below. As always, thank you for watching.